Okay, the next one is bring true instance of that which is difficult to bear into the path. Which is the first is the bring ingratitude onto the path. And of course, sometimes this kind of happens. And if someone we have cherished as our own child, regard us as if we were his enemy, to love him even more, just as a mother loves. A child who has fallen ill is a Bodhisattva practice. Just as a mother loves her child who has fallen ill. The way of the concerning and this druva of ingratitude. And even if someone or someone's for whom we have cared for as daily as our own child, perceived us as an enemy. It is the practice of the Bodhisattvas to love this own, or this one devotedly to this druva of ingratitude. Just as a mother loves her child, struck by the disease. And of course, it is difficult to bear, even if a person is unceasingly nurtured and with the different materials and included dharmas as the daily, as much as we to cherish, to taking care, we are very much devoted to them, or this person. Like the same as our own son or daughters. And to good attitude is the opposite. And like a kind of ingratitude means it's like as much as we do, that much return bad things. Like a kind of we are become as the enemies. And inflicts harm upon us in the very possible way with this person's body, speech, and the mind. How we can to bear, how we can to embrace and this situation. And nevertheless, for us, refrain from them. It is very important to bring into the path, return to this person and a positive way. How it is the positive way? Like they said, the old mothers does not just refraining from returning the harm that her sick or the possessed son may inflict on her in various ways. This old mother, she has a child, son or daughter, constantly sick. But this child, whatever the mother's doing things, of course the child complain, blame, say, "Mother, you are ugly. You are doing me all the times negative things." Whatever your mother does for the child is the opposite. Materials or any kind of direct, indirect. Mother is very devotedly want to cherish on child, but child is perceived as these animals, enemies, not animals, enemies. And then it's like the Magan or the Magnus. This is Tibet, sorry. The old mothers never retired. You know, it's like good attitudes and never. She all the times take care more and more. Like very loving toward to this child. Wishing that he or her will be free from this evil sickness and negative situations. As much as a bad return to her, she never keep in the mind. She constantly and doing good things to her own child. And also if we do to our like the enemies towards, like our the negative doers to us, or we all the time someone taking care, like cherish or nurtures this person by the materials, include the spiritual paths, maybe to return very much ingratitude. And it's true, sometimes they do. And materials, if you do as much as you help, return, it's bad things. And as much as you give education, many years, finally this person is become against. Your teaching, your education is ugly. I discovered different. That is the truth. We have in Europe many these problems. When I studied the science, most sciences sometimes not very kind. They are individual teachers. When you have like some in the great science, they have one student. Students become very famous. Then student says, "Yeah, I was this school. I studied these teachers, but these teachers taught to me, but I discovered something different things. These teachers got something is wrong, a lot of criticize, never respect." In the Buddhist perspective, it's not like there's a kind. This is unkind. It's a kind of ingratitude attitude. Why? Because it's like your basic education is you receive in the schools teacher. And these schools teachers to obviously, honestly, truthfully giving education. You are like a kind of, to look after you and to grow up education, everything you receive like this. Then afterward, how you can to talk about your teacher is very bad. He discovered it's like nothing. My the investigation or discovered things better than this. This kind of thing. Also, it's many different. For example, sometimes even in the Dharma perspective, and some students follow some teachers many years. They got all the educations after they become the against, and they criticize. Even they become the big enemies. And what can they do? And if you are Bodhisattvas, and then you cannot become angry. If you're angry, it's like destroying the bowl, absolutely. And it's like in this perspective, you are really not master if you're angry towards this student. You need to tolerantly to accept this ingratitude and to accept that, and you need to dedicate your virtuous things to them, to this person. It is very important. It is like here is the old mothers. How is she taking care of her sick child? And it's like this. This is a way of this. We need to. Maybe it's like the same ways here. We can to say it's like summons, and it's like a kind of the return, like a kind of powerful negative attitudes, and very much emotional ways. Even though sometimes it's like to killing. Like the same as the children, sometimes they're killing the parents. And like a kind of parents give everything to the children. The parents taking care, look after, cherish it, give education, best food, best clothes, give education. Then they grow up, they still children's greetings to the parents' belongings. And they want to get more and more from the parents. They cannot get more, and they want to kill because instead to the receive parents' belongings. And also it's like, it's like in the futures in our Europe's necessary to say like this. For example, some of our children to say the parents, oh parents, now you're using your money. You are going to holiday, going to very expensive restaurant. You want to spend all your money. You doesn't want to left nothing for the children's sake. Children's concerning the parents' money, parents' belongings. Children's never concern the parents' happiness. And it's like sometimes also they have very bad wish. Oh, my parents is quite rich, better to die quickly. Why? If my parents is go to holiday, they sick, they need to go to the hospital, they spend all money, maybe nothing left for us. But you don't need to concern the parents' situation. And this is the ingratitude, gratitude, really is like that. Because it's like this money is parents' money, it's their own money, their own gathered. And children should to be happy. One is like children, parents become old, maybe they become together, they make joy, they make happy, they can to manage it. It's a wonderful thing, but this kind of, sometimes I met a few times, all parents ill into the hospitals, oh now they are old, better to die. In the world, my perfect teachers say sometimes children's difficult to look after the parents. In the direct, the hearing says, oh, my parents very old, better to die. We never ever say to the front of the parents. Very sad. Parents old, parents' bodies is very difficult to study. Parents' bodies is completely collapsing. But also they need to, as long as to stay in this world. And they also need life. They have kind of to see that this wonderful world. It's difficult to see, difficult to hear, difficult to talk, but they still wish to stay. If you say like this, they think it's very sad. Okay, now I'm out of the families. Also my children, they are better to die Why they can say like this? They have inside big emotional things. And in the word my perfect teachers say like this, children all the time to say is, oh, my parents is like, we need to more long life, please to continue alive, staying more young, please go to holiday, to take as much as you children, to support children, buy the materials, food, money, condition, and to pay for everything. Then the children's really is a great gratitude. It is the marvel of them. It is like we have this kind of, it's better to change this concern in a lot of energy. And for example, in Tibet, of course, maybe some children, it's you know, when parents become old, it's difficult to look after them. But things is almost I never heard, like or quickly die. Maybe I will receive the parents, but maybe also there is maybe this is I would say the influence of the Buddha's teachings. Almost they cannot. If some children constantly that in the society is very, very bad. Of course, then this person is the worst human beings if you do some bad to the parents. And of course, sometimes we have the parents. It's like sometimes in our Europe, we become children against the parents. If you really we've studied Bodhisattva's practice, parents has some great, you know, it's great, no order, but very, very strong, disturbing emotions. They love their own child. It's a really amazing, but they're not freedom, their own disturbing emotions. In according to that, sometimes beating, sometimes abuse, sometimes they do it, but if we think about the parents' emotion, disturbing emotion, they are themselves not freedoms. In this case, we need to think about parents' disturbing emotions. Oh yes, they are sentient beings, they have such strong disturbing emotions. Maybe they did to us, but we cannot to say. For example, if parents really don't like really they hate to us, maybe when they're born, maybe they put us into the toilet. But not when we're born from the first time coming out from our mother's womb. So smelling ugly. Okay, sorry to say this. It's not like now, like we are. It is like so without parents, someone's go to touch and this baby so dirty, okay? But parents is never ever conscious. My child is very kind to holding, give the brain. It's like breast and milk and nice. How many years to taking care to ours? Then we become this adult and we are developed and then we manage, then we criticize to the parents. It's not very good. Of course, sometimes the parents are quoting the stupid, quoting the disturbing emotions. And sometimes did. For example, in Scandinavia's, one I have like there is one girlfriend. I don't want to say that, but what can I say? Look, someone's never smiled, but when I say girlfriend, they say. When I'm teaching, says Bodhisattva practice of your girlfriend. What? Sorry, there is one very young lady. Two Lopons are the, monk. Why we talking about this kind of? But sorry, I mean, this lady is a problem. The parents is not talking under anything, and she came to says we talk about compassion, concerning parents. She said, "Don't talk to me." Why? My worst enemy is my father and included my mother's. Why? Oh, they did something this and that, and then I never talked more than the 10 years, maybe so, one says 30 years, no communication. And it's like this. And then it's like, I asked her to say, do you have children? She said, yes, I have one child. Okay, do you love your child? Yes. Okay, now we can take example. Maybe you should to concern your parents' disturbed emotions. And also you should to think about yourself, how much you love your own child. Yes, but for example, one day maybe your child grow up saying, my ugly mother, I never ever talk to my mother. I'm going with bye-bye mother. How about your feelings? Oh, my child never cannot do it. Why not? Maybe your parents also is like when you are a child, never they like these things. Maybe they done something, but they are not free from their own disturbed emotion. Now your ingratitude is very bad. You can't say that you need to love to your parents. You're concerning about the parents' negative emotions. You know, you have negative emotions. How much you look now your anger. You cannot control your anger. If you cannot control your anger, maybe sometimes you can kill your child, your parents. This is like a kind of, now we are controlled by our disturbed emotions. Maybe surely one day you can get karma. When your child grow up, definitely I will give you guarantee your child to say like this. That moment you are crying, and that moment you are sad, but it's too late. You should to contact to your parents. And after a year I went back and she said, thanks, I contact. They are very happy. She went to come back to talk to parents, and the parents was crying to say, my child has come back, happy. Like this, sometimes it's like others, the disturbing emotions very much strong. They are not freedom from the disturbing emotions. In this case, to concern these disturbing emotions, then it's like, of course, there are this ingratitude. And that is kind of happened, but it's like in the Buddhist perspective, on the Bodhisattva's practice, it is very important to concerning those bad doers, these beings, disturbing emotions, to repay to them. It's like a kind of more like it's like our own child, or maybe it's like our own spiritual guide, as like them as our own child or families or dear such. And like this, if we do like this, then we can easily to bear it. For example, it's like when we are very, very angry with something, our families, and of course it's like we want to make the peace, probably to think about these others like doing the negative way things, to think about negative emotions. And then if I'm become angry, it's not very good. As much as to repay, man, is like a kind of compassion way and to good way. And even sometimes it's difficult a little bit to make the distant. And it's like this. Sometimes it's of course difficult to follow up, difficult to be together again and again, hurting again and again. And once you hurting to you, and then it's very difficult to bear. And afterwards, again and again coming like this, maybe in this perspective, to respect, to understand, and to really dedicate the virtue, and then you can to make a little while making the distance. And once you become completely enlightenment, and then you don't need this as much as disturbed to us, that much is good. Like a kind of disturbance, doing bad things by the others. For ours is like a kind of best path, best like kind of conditions. Like for example, fire is connected to the oil. If you are fire, in the fire you put oil, more and more oil, maybe fires become more and more strong. And if really you are correctly to practice Bodhisattva's practice, if really you become familiar of the Bodhisattva's practice, this kind of negative circumstances is like for your great supporter of your path. You become to appreciate it like this to do those things. But until there is something happened, it's like a little bit kind of make distance, and also to replay is maybe it's a compassion instead become angrily. That is the Bodhisattva's practice. Okay, I'm now going to next verse, verse 17. Yes.